Hieronymous sighed loudly as he placed his elbows on the desk in front of him, burying his face in both hands. He and his father had been sitting in this room waiting for what seemed like a lifetime, although, truth be told, even just 5 minutes with his father was 5 minutes more than he wanted to spend in his presence. "Come now," Aloysius scolds as he paces the room somewhere behind the desk. "Don't slouch. It's simply not befitting of a man of your rank." "They were supposed to be here already." Hieronymus thrusts himself back in the seat, slouching backward as he reclines his arms against the armrests of the chair. "I don't have time for this. Not today." "The Lord of East Wormwood outranks you, son," Aloysius replies with laughter in his voice. "You, dear boy, are a slave to his schedule, not the other way around." "I need to be off to see Tori in a few hours," he says to no one in particular. "I haven't told her I'm coming. I can only imagine how she'll react to seeing me waiting outside her door as she returns from class." "Quite well, I would imagine," Aloysius replies with a clear note of disinterest in his voice. "That girl deems you infallible, the poor thing." Hieronymus just brushes off this insult as he looks back up at his father. "If he doesn't arrive soon, will you stay and—" "I will do no such thing," Aloysius snaps suddenly. "Hieronymus, you are a viscount now. Your duties to your oath far outweigh whatever duties you have to your wife." Hieronymus had made vows to her too, but he just stiffens and says nothing. The only dissent he offers is a firm shake of his head. Still, this is enough to engage Aloysius. "Perhaps if you took your duties as a husband more seriously last spring, Potsdam would never have been able to come up with a compelling reason to expel the girl." "Tori is selfless," Hieronymus argues. "I know it must be difficult to imagine doing something to aid others without benefiting in return, but Tori's intentions were good, if not misguided. Perhaps if you had kept Potsdam on a tighter leash, we wouldn't be in this position." Aloysius just shakes his head. "There is only so much charity I can provide that woman. I am surprised that you would let Tori return to her care, if only for a few months. Perhaps you don't care for the girl as much as I thought." Hieronymus's face flushes. His father knew how much Tori meant to him. The comment had only been made to vex him further. "You wish to meddle, just as you did last winter. Fortunately for me, I have nothing to fear from you. Tori is devoted to me, and I to her. Your sour words won't be able to come between us." "Perhaps not," Aloysius admits, "but her continued ignorance is still troubling. Combine that with her selfless nature, as you put it, and that can spell a recipe for trouble. I gave my approval because I thought her reckless martyrdom was only at your expense. If she feels the need to put herself out for others, I might have to reconsider." "Her ignorance, as you put it, seems to have benefited you so far," Hieronymus says in a low voice. "Regardless, I thought you tried to befriend Tori only last month, if revealing my entire life story to her was any indication." "Not the entire story," Aloysius replies, "and not the entire truth, either, not that she'd know it. Always remember, Hieronymus, an inexperienced master never expects a friendly dog to bite." Hieronymus gets to his feet as he whirls around to face him. "May I ask what Tori has done for you to suddenly speak of her this way?" Aloysius just chuckles. "Believe me, Hieronymus, I have nothing against that little spitfire, although I am growing concerned that she is not mature enough to provide value to the title she now holds. Tori has, at least, improved your station considerably, and I believe it's now possible for you to find a more alluring match. A marriage alliance with another noble family would do well to lend more power to the Grabiner name." Maybe the comment had been made to provoke a reaction, and Hieronymus did feel angry, but it was quickly replaced with a smug smirk. "You truly are a foolish old man. If anything happens to Tori, I will spend the rest of my life making sure that the Grabiner name isn't worth more than dirt. Everything you spent your life working to achieve will become nothing more than a pile of ashes. Aloysius sighs. I have already warned you about this, haven't I? Your reckless attachment to this wild seed is as worrisome as your obsession with the first one. Not the word I would use, Hieronymous replies simply. If you must know, Tori and I have had several conversations about the family we wish to start, and that includes children. If anything, you should be pleased to know that you are so close to having the heir you've always wanted. As the spirits will it, hopefully, he will find more honor in our legacy than you do, Aloysius huffs. Or she, Hieronymous replies with a wicked grin, knowing it will only antagonize his father further. Aloysius just shakes his head as he checks his watch. Unfortunately, I think you will be delayed, and I will have to escort young Tori myself. Fine, Hieronymous replies, and Aloysius raises his eyebrows in surprise. Maybe you do need to spend more time with Tori to see how remarkable and mature she really is. She will not disappoint you. Of that, I have no doubts. Aloysius grins, sensing the prospect of a challenge. I look forward to it. With that, he steps back and teleports away as Hieronymous slumps back into his seat. If this had been months ago, he would have worried himself sick over her, but if Tori had proven anything lately, it was that she could handle herself. He wasn't always happy with the choices she made, but Tori always strived to do what she thought was right, and he could never, would never, fault her for that. Now, if only he could learn to do the same.